coverage at the FedEx Forum, and we're going to bring it to you live from Memphis, Tennessee. I'm Kevin Harlan, along with Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony. On the sidelines, it's David Aldridge. For the Timberwolves, this is the last game before heading back to Minnesota.
Yeah, and Kevin, things are starting to get a little bit out of control for him. This losing streak is starting to become an embarrassment, and it's only going to get worse if things don't change.
Edwards. And the call on the shot sends him to the line. And Greg, it didn't take long for Anthony Edwards to prove himself in the NBA.
There's so much to like about his game. As outstanding as his offense is, his defense cannot be overlooked. He is a lockdown presence when he needs to be.
And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle and 2 shots coming up. You can see, and Coach, you can feel John Morant's star power, and his presence on the floor is such a factor. It affects the game.
Yeah, it sure does, and it even affects the energy in the building. His play is so dynamic, athletic, energetic. I mean, you can't sit and watch a Ja game. He's going to get you on your feet.
He is one of a kind for sure. Here's Morant. Edey. Gobert with the defensive effort. To the middle. Here's McDaniels. It's not going to go for him. Some solid defense there from Jackson. And now we've got some time to check in from the sidelines. You got for us, D.A.?
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I caught up with the Grizzlies head coach, and we talked about the tall task of facing Anthony Edwards. Coach said he is so physical. Ant looks more like a linebacker than a wing, so we can't foul Edwards too much. That's playing right into his hands. So they'll try to play him tight without sending him to the line. Not easy to do. Back to you guys.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, secures the ball off the glass. Does a nice job going right back up.
Randall from outside. And slam dunk by Gobert.
Pounding the offensive glass. That's where Gobert gets a lot of his extra chances.
It's Pippen on the wing. Back to Morant. Pass to Pippen. Here's Edey. Gobert pulls it in.
Far from an ideal start, only 1 for 5. Let's see if they can turn it around.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on John Morant. That's his first foul. This season has been full of surprises, Greg. What's surprising you most about the NBA right now?
Kevin, the game evolves constantly. I mean, the increased speed of the league, a lot more scoring. If your eyes aren't glued to the action, you might miss it.
In the corner, it's Bane. Here's Jackson. Back to Bane. Lays it up off the glass.
Well, if you overplay Bane on the perimeter, he can take you inside.
Here's McDaniels. And the shot goes in.
Yeah, so skilled offensively. Getting the ball in his hands is generally a good idea.
So timeout called here. The first for Memphis. This their first chance to take a look at the Timberwolves this season.
And this game, just the first of 4 meetings between these two. They'll get quite familiar with each other by season's end.
And while these aren't rivals, a long season series is one you always want to get the better end of.
Here's Kennard.
2 minutes remaining in the first.
Memphis moving it around. Bagley with the ball. Just 5 on the clock. And stolen by DiVincenzo. A solo fast break. And finished off by McDaniel.
Well, you can't sleep on McDaniel's athleticism if you're the defense. At 6'9", he can absolutely hammer it out.
And it's in there.
Yeah, another nice bucket down low. They've really been able to work the ball into the post effectively here so far.
Randall no good.
And it doesn't even matter that he's surrounded on that possession. He's got the size to pull those boards down anyway.
Yeah, you have to be so worried about Kennard's shot. That opens things up for others.
So the Timberwolves called their first timeout. They couldn't put the pieces together, losing the last matchup with the Lakers.
Yeah, in that one, the shot selection wasn't terrible, but they had to tighten it up. It did not happen.
Seems like they did all they could, and sometimes it still doesn't go your way.
The Timberwolves making a switch here. Minnesota in the lead. Outside Edwards. And they call the foul, so he's got the and one chance here to make it a three-point play.
I don't know how Edwards does it. It's a blend of skill, finesse, and a little bit of luck that went down.
At the line for one.
Free throw good, Edwards. And despite his young age, Coach Van Gundy, Anthony Edwards' leadership qualities growing day by day.
Yeah, Kevin, and a lot of it's because he is great at both ends of the court. Confident, charismatic, upbeat. He's learning that delicate balance between taking over a game and bringing his teammates along for the ride. So good at finding these rejections. Gobert has all the physical tools and razor-sharp reflexes as a defender.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Pass to Conchar. 6 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Kennard. They can't stop the run with that one.
And right from the start, Kevin, they've been pounding the glass. Most of those 50-50 balls also going their way.
To the paint. Here's Huff. Terrific assist. A nice finish. Solid play all around.
Any chance you get, you want to put yourself in a position to succeed, and that's what he did there.
Well, converting on those transition opportunities is just so important.
The Timberwolves.
And so it's the Minnesota Timberwolves with their lead standing at 6 points here at the end of the quarter. And they've done a phenomenal job down low. So many of their points coming right at the rim. We come back right after this. And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
Well, they used the fast break to generate some easy buckets before the defense could get set.
Yeah, they've dictated the pace to this point, looking to run at every opportunity.
And slam dunk by Gobert.
What a slam by Gobert. He's solid getting positioning inside and using it to his advantage.
Edey gets the bucket.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
So, Stan, the Grizzlies trio of Ja Morant, Desmond Bane, and Jaren Jackson Jr. From the outside looking in, what a great base going forward.
I agree with that, Kevin. Look, not only are those three outstanding individual players, but they complement each other so well. There's such a great fit with those three guys. That's a great base for the future.
On the clock. Edwards, no good.
Well, if you have the space, you have to take that shot. He missed it, but he's trying to keep the defense honest.
Pass to Edey. Right wing. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Second personal foul.
It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
And you know what? You allow a guy to get right to the rim like that. That's your only option.
We see coaches, Stan, willing to pay fines for complaining about the officiating. I'm having a hard time thinking if you ever did this. Going back in my Rolodex here. Did you? Did you ever do that, Coach?
I mean, Kevin, I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars of fines in the NBA. My wife was not real happy about that at one point, reminding me early on that we had 4 kids we were going to try to put through college. And she told me one year I just gave away 2 college educations.
Oh, goodness.
And coaches looking to seize every advantage, maximize every possession.
Well, that's the job, right? Your duty as a coach is to finesse your lineups so your guys get the best chance to succeed.
Pass to Bagley. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Bagley's got his second bucket tonight.
That's the kind of toughness Bagley needs to show on every possession. Shake off the contact and finish through.
Here's Morant. Memphis moving that ball around. Pass to Bagley.
I mean, he's a real wrecking ball inside. Once Bagley has solid position, you almost have to foul him.
It's his first trip to the line.
At the line for
Greg, this is some kind of note. Last year, Minnesota, for just the second time, had ever won a series in the postseason.
Yeah, they've been bounced in the first round, 10 of 12 appearances. But last year's team was different. Their elite defense fueled the conference finals run.
A good board there, Kevin, but overall they're getting slightly out-rebounded.
Over in the corner, McDaniels. And the 3 off target. And so it's Payne who brings up the ball for the Memphis Grizzlies. They trail by 6.
Yeah, so tough to knock Morant off balance, and he's so talented at keeping his focus on the basket.
Back to Reed. No good on the triple.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay.
Inside. Here's Bagley. Minnesota with the rebound.
Wow. Missed the easy one right there, right at the rim, but came up empty.
And while we've got a moment, let's send it over to our terrific reporter, David Ulrich. David?
Kevin, thank you very much. Jake McDaniels has become an X factor for the Wolves. Mike Conley says, we know what he does defensively, but the offense that he can bring for us balances our unit. It's much needed. Guys tend not to think of him as an offensive player, but he does have that in his game. Kevin?
But I love the reference to an X factor. He definitely is that. All right, David, thank you. And, you know, Stan, we've watched Desmond Bane evolve into a number 1 option on offense. He's always been there, but now he really is at the top of the heap.
Yeah, he sure is. Look, Kevin, you know, he came into the league as a three-point shooter, and he's a great one. But he's developed his game off the dribble, very good mid-range shooter, and he's strong enough to finish around the rim.
To the inside. Out to Edwards. They need this one. Offensive rebound. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
First personal foul.
You know, Coach, what more can you ask? The reigning 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert.
Well, Kevin, since you asked, his impact in the playoffs hasn't always been the same as during the regular season. That's got to be the next step. Yeah, great effort tonight, and he's been rewarded with trips to the line.
Here's Bagley. Outside Williams. Pass to Kennard. Here's Bane. He's covered by Clark. Here's Williams. Gobert pulls it in.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
Yeah, not his best night in terms of shot selection. Lucky for him, his teammates have picked up the slack.
Down low. Here's Huff. Gobert with the block. And the ball's tied up, so we'll have a jump ball. And it's the Grizzlies with the ball to the inside. A kick out to Bain. And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close
score. Your Grizzlies, 19. The Timberwolves.
And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. Minnesota leading by 4. Edwards drawing the double team. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Grizzlies will take it. Morant scanning the floor. Pass to Edey. Gobert with the block.
And when Gobert is playing with this kind of aggression on that end, there aren't many better at defending.
And standing 6'9", Jaden McDaniels possessing tremendous length for a perimeter defender.
Yeah, Kevin, and he can really move his feet, too. Jaden McDaniels is clearly one of the best and most versatile perimeter defenders in the league.
Pass to Edey. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Rudy Gobert.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Well, Stan, as a former coach, I imagine it has to be hard for you to watch basketball as a fan.
Well, it is. It's very hard, almost impossible. I'm almost always watching from a coach's standpoint, an X and O standpoint. But I will say, even when I was standing on the sidelines, NBA players are so good that you have fan moments even while you're coaching.
It seems like every game we see something we've never seen before, right?
I can remember turning around to my assistants and saying, "Can you believe that?"